Well, we're all alone right now. I've been alone for many years doing my show. It's a very big change for people to be locked in their apartments and houses alone. No outlets, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. I've been working at home for over 15 years. I have radio studios in all of my homes, all of my dwellings, wherever I am. And it's one of the toughest adjustments a human can make is isolation. Isolation's a killer. Of course, it's not the coronavirus. Locked in their apartments and houses alone. No outlets, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. I've been working at home for over 15 years. I have radio studios in all of my homes, all of my dwellings, wherever I am. And it's one of the toughest adjustments a human can make is isolation. Isolation's a killer. Of course, it's not the coronavirus, but it's a killer to your brain, your soul, your heart, your mind. But the mortality rate of the virus is low. It's rather low, it's pretty low, lower than the flu. I mean that the uneducated adults who've been screaming that it's nothing and now all of a sudden they're making believe they're experts in the field. We're right, they're wrong. And what this disease actually does to you. We're going to talk about the boondoggle, the $2 trillion boondoggle. Ugly enough. But what McConnell did with regard to pork barrel spending in Kentucky, his home state, is enough to say, why are they not all in prison? It's like a group of gangsters just robbed us blind. Who do you think is going to pay for this? I know I'm not supposed to say it. The Senate passed the bill 96-0, $2 trillion stimulus bill. I understand that all of you think it was necessary, and I guess it is. I get $2,400. How long is that going to last?
Give me the wine! Late lunch, they called dinner, and it was spaghetti and meatballs and sausages, and
Lord.
My family would all get together, and it was a beautiful time. I didn't really appreciate it as a kid.
No kidding.
But it was just beautiful, because they all came together, and the grandparents were there, and they would start to eat it.
Very nice, very nice. You know, the next one. Let's have the next little meatball talk.
The people together.
All right,
everybody
that's
talks
true.
about how the Italians love the food. That's true, but really they love bringing the family together, and the food was the way that people came together, and then sat at the table, and it was just
enough already.
2, 3.
So you could see Cuomo's running for the presidency. He wants a brokered convention. A hell of a battle between Cuomo and Trump right now, but Cuomo has a lot of baggage. He's destroyed New York State. He's driven out all the high earners in the state. He's taxed them to death. He's flooded New York with illegal aliens. So it's not such a guarantee that it's going to work west of the Hudson. I mean, this kind of crap plays amongst his let's say the people who like him. They don't like him outside of New York City. Upstate New Yorkers hate him, by the way. This comes to me from a listener, loyal listener in New York City, locked in her apartment apparently. Never met the person. Emailing me for years, and she says, you're the best. It's easier for me to listen to you live working from home versus the office. I would hate to live in New York right now. I'd be a prisoner. I would think the worst place in the world to be right now is New York City, Manhattan. The worst. I would do anything I could to get out of there. Centers. NYC, LA, Seattle, heavy population centers. San Francisco's running a close fourth, bringing in for so long. We don't know what's liable to happen in San Francisco under this mismanagement. But it's population centers who are at the most risk, which is why I have said selective quarantine is what is called for. I'm back. Pelosi, the sick puppy, must be stopped at all costs before she destroys it. That is not controversial, and yet, of course, it created controversy. I said, when you yell, there is no fire in a burning theater, you will be responsible for many deaths and suffering. Who does that apply to? Well, let's go back in time. While President Trump was being accused by Crazy Nancy of fiddling while Rome burns, while President Trump was closing down travelers from China, what was Crazy Nancy doing? She went to Chinatown,
To be here, especially at this time, to be able to be unified with our community. We want to be vigilant about what might be on the, what is out there in other places. We want to be careful about how we deal with it, but we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
When you yell, "There is no fire in a burning theater," Miss Pelosi, you will be responsible for many deaths and such. These words of wisdom. It was probably the most outrageous thing in this entire virus epidemic was Pelosi taking a walk through Chinatown to say that it's safe. This was while Trump closed down travel from China. And what did crazy Nancy say about that? She said he was a racist for closing down China. So did all of the other Democrat anti-Americans. To the next clip, in clip 2, you must hear it.
To say thank you for being in Chinatown.
At the Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory, the owner acknowledged sales have fallen by hundreds of dollars per day. No one here, though, is sick or wearing face masks.
We want people to care about our small businesses and our survival here. And hopefully they'll take heart and come down here. We've got a lot of great places here for people to see.
The owner of the Walk Shop on Grand Avenue was thrilled when the speaker dropped in and bought a walk. The store has been in business for